Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you so much for joining me. We are going to make some of these quick throw rugs using our Cricut. I actually, as I was cleaning out, I found one more that I had on hand. So I'm going to use it and then create 3 more. But when I'm prepping these mats, something I wanted to show you is that I go ahead and cut any little tag doohickey off of there, right? Get that off, because when I put my stencil or my decal on my rug, let's get it where it's, I flip it over. I don't put it on that ribbed side, right? Because it doesn't like to lay flat. So I put it on this side, and then this sort of kind of grips the floor, right? So, something I had created before, I'm going to actually put it on a lighter one. I think it would look better on one of these. So get all the little this, that, and all the other off of your rug. And I do just sort of clip all the extra little bits and bobbles off here right from the tag. And let's see if this will look okay on this. It's still a little dark, so I may end up creating another one. I don't know. We'll have to see. So I could just do something like that. If we choose to keep it, it would be something like that, right? And then I would just heat press it onto the rug itself. So I need to go lighter. That might be why I didn't use it before. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with probably 4 designs so that I can go ahead and cut them out, make sure there's no tags left on any of my rugs, and then maybe I can search around and see if I can find one that isn't one of these dark colors. Might have been all that was there when I was there getting these at that time. I'll have to look at the big box store, because honestly I'm not really a big Dollar Tree fan right now with all the price increases, right? I used to love to go there to get items so that as I was learning new crafts, I didn't have to worry about that financial investment. But with their changes, I've had to change the way I do things also. So, because we do a video like every week, and then all of those videos in July. All right, so we've got 2 black, 2 dark gray, charcoal gray. Let's go over to the computer. I have a whole library that I've started collecting of SVGs, which that's what this is before you cut it out. Let's look at what I have, and let's see what I want to make, what I want to give away. So there we go. All right. I was hoping to be able to use that. We'll see. Maybe it'll go on something else. Oh, that'd be pretty on a purse, wouldn't it? Okay, like a bag for the curb market or something. We'll see. All right, let's go find our designs, our decals, our SVGs. Then we'll get out our heat transfer vinyl, cut them out, and then press them on. Should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's hope that's not my last word on that. All right, I've got my vinyl picked out. All right, I got 5 pieces. I'm only gonna cut 4. This doesn't always like to press on well, so we'll see. This one is a little bit small for the actual design I want, so I'm gonna look again. But what I'm going to do is, if I need to change the dimensions, then that's what I'll do. But I'm going to go ahead and load up 2 mats So you can either get the 12 by 12 or the 12 by 24. And so I have 2 of these. And what I'll do is, if my design is longer than what my vinyl is, I'll just go in and I'll adjust it there in Design Space, so that I can go ahead and use up these odds and ends. All right. And they're kind of new. They're not really new, but I just don't use them a whole lot. But just like always, you're going to basically put the vinyl down. So typically, if you're using this heat transfer vinyl, you do want to put it upside down, or shiny side down is what the machine will actually tell you. So let me try to get this on here as straight as possible. With this sheet, I needed to add some painter's tape just to hold my edges down, which meant this mat is just a little weaker than the other one. Still worked just fine. I can see that it cut well. But every once in a while, and this is a low tack tape, so I don't have to worry about it leaving anything behind or taking anything away from these particular mats. I just remove them. I'll save them in case I need them for one of the other ones. And then just pull it off like I would normally. Just gently pull it. And I'll release. And after we get everything cut out, we will go ahead and weed these. All right, I am going to go ahead and use this little piece of red I have. I'm going to go ahead and put my truck on this one. Alright, I think this is going to be just fine. Alright, let me go back to the Cricut. I ended up using a little bit of painter's tape on this red glitter sheet. And I see that a few of my areas had some issues. I don't see anything major that won't be able to salvage it, but it had a lot more smaller pieces than the others. Go, and we'll just let it lay over to the side. I always try to very quickly get my carrier sheet put back on my mats, and I start by lining that little hole up. And it's way off, so let's put it on there correctly. So we'll line up the hole in the corners. And that is good enough right there. Just protects the sticky part of my mat. All right, let's give this just a little bit of time. I'll probably put a little bit of weight on top of these because I've got them in between the mats over here, just so that it unrolls a little bit, makes it a little bit easier for me. All right, progress. All right, we're going to start weeding our projects. And what I'm going to do is I am going to cut off the excess, and then maybe be able to use that for another project. Probably maybe in the Cricut, maybe not the Cricut. Not really sure, but I like to go ahead and save what I can. Right, that's the last one. Right, now it's time to get my presser out, and we will get these pressed on there. I think these are going to turn out really nice. How about that? Big bang, little buck. All right. I'm going to even try that. It's a little dark, but I think it kind of complements that well. And gold is always a nice, puts a nice pop on there. I will get a ruler out just to make sure that I'm where I need to be on the mat. All right, phew, got all that weeding done. I think these will make lovely gifts. All right, we've got our heat press warming up, and now I just want to make sure that I am the same distance on both sides. So we can move it over just a smidge. All right, we are up to temp. That's what that little sound means. We don't need parchment or anything with this carrier sheet on here. Okay. Okay. I'm going to turn it around. And I don't need my pad underneath here because I have the rug. Let's just make sure that we are, looks like we are straight and ready to go. So basically we just put it down, we do our timer 30 seconds, so we'll start it. Starts its countdown, then we'll move it to the next spot, next spot, next spot, and we'll probably end up doing it probably like 6 times for this size. See our timers counting down. Move to the next one. Make sure we're covered everywhere. These do tend to curl up a little bit, but then they lay flat once they're all the way cooled down. Well, this has never happened before. Look at that. my letters are not coming off of the carrier sheet. Oh my goodness. You can see how hard I press. What on earth? Never had that happen before. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to remake the word Merry Christmas, and I'll have to take a sanding block to this piece right here. Wow, never had that happen before. Not cool. All right, let me get to repairing it. The rest of it looks good. All right, so I sanded this so that it'll have a good, be able to attach well. I went ahead and cut it out again, so now I'm going to weed it and try to get it onto this doormat. All right. Sometimes you have to back up and punt. All right, we'll let that cool down, but I tried to match the font, didn't quite get it, but I still think it looks pretty good. All right, I will lay these on the floor. They haven't straightened out yet, but they will as they cool down. And I'll give you a picture of what they look like laying down on the floor. Let me know in the comments below which one is your favorite. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this video, this little quick tutorial with our Cricut. If you did, please like it, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And well, until next time, happy crafting. All right, I'll lay these on the floor and then I'll let you have a gander at them. And they are starting to straighten out. Remember how wavy they were? They're starting to straighten out at this point. All right. This was a fun one. Until next time, y'all.